One would think, after the exodus from Egypt and the Red Sea crossing and God's provision of sweet water when only bitter water had been available, that the people of Israel would learn to simply ask God rather than grumble against him or the person he chooses to lead. But after being camped in an oasis for a period of time, God leads the people forward towards Sinai. For a brief time they're in the wilderness between the oasis and the mountain. And with little flourish or fanfare, the Israelite people again grumble. Would that we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by meat pots and ate bread to the full. For you have brought us into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. And this sounds like my kids about 3 hours after lunch and 3 hours before dinner. Mom, Dad, when is dinner? What will we be having for dinner? Is dinner still happening in these difficult and trying times? Have you led us to the 3 o'clock hour only to let me die of hunger? Of course the meal is coming. There should be no doubt. But the children have a short memory and seemingly can't remember that every day since their birth, dinner has arrived when they need it. And when dinner rolls around, the gratitude for dinner is sometimes, though not always, short-lived. God's solution is not to give the people pots of meat and the bread to the full that they fantastically remember in their thinking of their time as slaves in Egypt. Instead, God says to them, "Behold, I am about to rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a day's portion every day, that I may test them whether they will walk in my law or not. On the 6th day, when they prepare what they bring in, it will be twice as much as they gather daily." And God rains down bread from heaven because God provides. And Moses reminds the people, "Let no one leave any of it over till the morning." A good reminder, but we're told in verse 20, they did not listen to Moses. Some left part of it till the morning, and it bred worms and stank. And Moses was angry with them. God's told his people he will provide, but some of them, in their short memory, have forgotten that when God says he's going to do something, like rescue well over 1 million enslaved people from the brutal oppression of the most powerful nation in the world, he does it. Maybe the worms and rot got their attention and served as instruction in not hoarding, but human nature would suggest that for many people, the lesson was learned over many subsequent episodes of hoarding what God had given. In either case, God continues to provide for them despite their fairly regular lack of thankfulness. I love you, and I pray today that you would find yourself reminded that God will provide for you. It may not end up being literal bread from heaven, but it will absolutely be gifts that you need. And as God blesses you with those gifts, do not make plans to circumvent your reliance on God. Storing up what he's given you isn't the plan. And our willingness to take what we need and leave behind what we don't is a confession of faith on our part.